Now that you're firmly grounded in what formulas do and how they behave, let's talk a little bit about functions. I'm going to go ahead and start with a fresh sheet. I'm going to insert a sheet using the Insert Worksheet icon here. And also I'm going to copy and paste our data table here so we can have something to work with. And I'm going to fix this column here. There we are. Functions are essentially mini procedures designed to perform specific tasks. For example, the if function evaluates conditions and tells you whether the condition is true or not. Functions have utilities that go beyond mathematical operations. Some functions are designed to process text, while others, like the if function I just mentioned, perform conditional evaluations. On the Formulas tab here, you'll see the function library group. Now here you can see that the functions are separated by category. Let's take a few minutes and talk about each category and the types of functions you'll find in each. The first group we'll see here is the financial group. The financial group of functions perform calculations that are financial in nature. For example, the PMT function calculates payments based on some schedule and some interest rate. And you'll notice I can find the PMT function here by just scrolling down to PMT. And all the functions are in alphabetical order, and as you can see, when you hover over a function, it kind of tells you what the function does. Another example of a financial function is the future value function, or the FV function, which calculates the future value of an asset. The next group here, the group called logical, contains functions that perform evaluations on your data, allowing you to determine whether a condition is true or not. In this group you'll find functions such as if error, and not. And as you can see, the next function group here is the text function group. This group contains functions that evaluate and perform actions against text. For example, the lower function you see here converts your text into all lowercase letters. A few examples of the other functions you'll find here in the text group are functions that help you find and replace data, find particular portions of strings, and concatenate strings together. Then you have the date and time group, which contains functions that allow you to perform calculations based on dates and times. For instance, the net workdays function allows you to calculate how many workdays are in a certain period. Here you'll also find functions that allow you to get today's date, the month number of a particular date, and what day the end of month falls on. Next, you'll see the lookup and functions group, which allows you to perform actions that compare and match two sets of data. Finally, you have other groups like math and trig. If you click on more functions, you'll see statistical functions, engineering functions, cube functions, and information functions. And these are typically not used by the average Excel user. Now, why is it important to know what kind of functions each one of these groups contain? Well, as you get more familiar with Excel and more familiar with some of the functions that you need, knowing which kinds of functions these particular groups contain will help you pinpoint them more easily and more readily. Now, let's have a concrete example of what a function can do for you. In this example, I'm going to use the sum function, the SUM function. And in order to use a function, you would type the equal sign, you would type in the function's name, in this case it's sum, and you'll notice as you type the function name, Excel tries to keep up with you with its IntelliSense, providing you a context menu that allows you quick access to help if you need it. In this case, we're just going to type in an open parentheses here. And as you can see here, Excel now recognizes that you're trying to complete or create a sum function, and it's going to give you a little bit of help here. So what it's saying here is that with the sum function, you can put in one or several numbers in order to sum them together or add them together. In this case, we're going to sum up the numbers here in column G. I'm just going to select that range, close the parentheses, and press enter. So the function we just created, the sum function here, sums up the values of G3 through G8. Now consider this. We previously added numbers together by typing in the following formula: equals that cell reference plus that cell reference and after all the cell references were put in, we would press the enter key. Now it gives you the same result, but with a lot less work using the sum function. And with this one example, you should be able to get your mind around what a function is about. It's about saving time and effort and having Excel do the work for you.